This stream was broadcast during the 2023 SAG-AFTRA and WGA strikes. Without the labor of these talented artists, the stories we love would not exist, and our conversations about them would be impossible. For more information on how you can aid in the strike, click on the link in the description below.
Hello, my friends. It is Hondo, and welcome back to the Knights of the Nerd Republic. You know what to do, and stay profitable.
The Nerd Academy podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Hello there, and welcome to our live after show call-in that we're doing with Ahsoka now because we can, and I'm excited too. First things first, as I said in the intro, go ahead, click below, donate to the Entertainment Community Fund, and help keep the striking writers and actors and artists who make these shows possible, give them the ability to continue their historic fight for their rights. Scotty, please stop. I'm bringing you on now.
Perhaps we discuss
tonight's Ahsoka.
Oh
my lord. Hi, Scotty. You're the first guest this week.
I am so excited to be on because for me personally, this is my favorite one. And I know we're only 3 episodes deep. And I kind of like, people probably have their takes on the length of it, but the length to me was like superb. Like I loved it was tight. It got everything through. I'm also, thank you for letting me be here, by the way. I know we've had a beef. I haven't been on TNAP in a minute. And I'm not going to do any EC stuff right now because I'm just going to be respectful of you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We don't have to be in kayfabe all the time.
Do you miss the sounds of the Bayou? Because we have it on CD now.
I do miss the sounds of the Bayou. Are you going to play it right now for us?
No. I won't waste your time. I
was fully prepared for you to be as disruptive as possible.
I could never. No.
The moment you said something nice, I was fully prepared for you to go.
No. Why do you feel that way?
You have a tendency to do that. That's all.
Okay.
But no, I agree with you. This week's episode was kind of bonkers. We were talking about it a little bit a moment ago before we started, and I do agree with you that we're kind of already there, kind of like with Mando season 3. We kind of went, all right, we're gonna spend half of this season just getting to Mandalore. Nope. Second episode, cool, okay, excellent. And by the end of this episode, we're already poised to have what I think a lot of us thought wasn't going to be the like showing up until the end of the show.
Okay, and what else?
This big showdown with Balin, with the whole everyone in the order knew Anakin Skywalker. I don't know why he's Sean Connery, but
no, I wanted to say because if you look at all the footage from everything else we've gotten so far, and I might go back and rewatch all the trailers we've gotten. Like until next episode, that's it. Like and past episode 5 all the way through 8. It appears we're going to get nothing but things we're not aware of. So that's the kind of thing I look for. That's the kind of thing I look forward to. And we know that this episode kind of had a, I said this earlier in a private discussion you and I were having. Everyone has their thoughts on certain shows in Star Wars, and they're all, you're all allowed to have those thoughts and those opinions. Yeah. But the thing
some people think other shows are better than others.
Sure. And one thing I will say to that is that everyone's like, oh, I liked Andor because it was slow. It took its time and it did this. You're seeing that with a show about a Jedi now. And it's exactly what that is. It feels like the slow parts of Empire. You see what the Force is from someone who's never had to wield the Force or has no innate ability, which is different. We usually get Force users that are already manipulating the Force. This is the first time, besides, I guess you could say Luke, but Sabine has, as Hu Yang says, adept, is not able to wield the Force in that way. So
yeah, and well, speaking of Sabine, we have Ray Clausen, patron.
wow.
Loyal $10 patron, fellow person I've Roosevelt's pilled.
Look, speaking
Yeah, as
of,
Scotty's rocking the Thracket. He's
there
got
it
the
is.
Thracket on.
I got it today. Came in this morning.
You brought up Sabine right on cue, and want to talk about the Force stuff with Sabine.
The cup moved. Did
Listen,
the cup move?
I don't know if the cup moved. I don't know if they did any X-Men The Last Stand Magneto chess piece on us. Yes, Eli, the Thracket. And listen, I think the Chimera side looks so much better. No hate to the Imperial officer version of it. But if I were more of a Thrawn stan, I would be wearing that constantly. I would not if I were more of a Thrawn person, because I love Thrawn, but I'm not like, oh my fucking god, Thrawn, ah. But I'd be rocking the Thracket. But we were talking about this last week that my interpretation of Force sensitivity has always been that, and Taylor, honey, you were asking me what. Oh, also, real quick, shouts out Taylor, who's in the chat. Happy 2-year anniversary. Love you. Happy. Jesus. Is that I've always interpreted it as someone who isn't quote unquote Force sensitive, with the necessary midichlorian count, but can touch the Force. That's like a Cheridim way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where he is opening himself up to the Force as much as somebody who is not genetically predisposed to be able to use the Force.
Sure, yeah.
But once you cross that threshold, you'll still have people who are borderline on either side.
Mm-hmm.
People who are oh yeah, you're Force sensitive, but barely. And then you'll have people who you aren't Force sensitive, but you almost are. It's like a nearly flightless versus barely flightful bird.
Oh, I like that.
I
like that. Yeah.
And I think that Sabine is very much on that opposite end of the curve. That where you have an Anakin or a Luke or a Rey or a Revan or a Darth Bane who are just kind of born predisposed for incredible Force aptitude. Then you have people like an average Force user, say an Obi-Wan Kenobi, who kind of needs to really exercise and stretch that muscle before they're able to do crazy shit. And by the time Obi-Wan is at his zenith, he is matching the Chosen One.
Well, look,
for tat with the Force.
I was watching the scene in Kenobi today where he threw the rocks, and I was like, man, that is so peak Kenobi. That's as probably in terms of power, that's as far as he could take and use the Force was when he manipulated 40 rocks, just went boom, and this fucked up Vader. But man, I loved how this episode made me feel, even on a teacher level, because there was that moment where Sabine was even where Ahsoka was I'm gonna let her take control, and I was ooh, and because Hu Yang was this is gonna get us killed. I'm yes, that is how you do it. You don't have to waste time on them arguing back and forth. You have Ahsoka go, okay, wait a minute, she's got it figured out. Let me cater her to her skills for once. I love that.
Well,
I love that.
The excellent thing about that is that you're seeing, Hu Yang makes a joke about it at one point with well, then again, you're descended from a long line of
Unorthodox
Jedi.
Masters. Yeah.
That I love that Anakin learned. It's kind of like parenting. We all know that whenever regardless of how good a home life you had, there are things that you learned not to do from your parents.
Yep.
Things that you were as a user experience, I know not to replicate this.
Exactly.
And where Anakin learned from Obi-Wan not to replicate letter of the law versus they learned that it's more about the spirit of the law than the letter of the law.
Mm-hmm.
That was what Anakin took away from Obi-Wan. Ahsoka here is okay, I need to learn when to pull back, because Anakin was bad at that. He was he could be an incredibly overbearing teacher at times.
Yes.
So seeing Ahsoka take that step and go, okay, I am going to completely acquiesce to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we ever saw Anakin truly ever acquiesced to Ahsoka. There were moments where she got through to him and was like, "Hey, I need you to change this," and then he like kind of took her lead. But I cannot think of a single moment in the Clone Wars where Anakin just fully put his hands up and said, "I'm going to follow you. What do you need me to do?"
Exactly. And that's how you learn from masters. You do, like you said, as in terms of parenting, you learn what not to do, but also what to do based on what they didn't do for you. And that's any good teacher, you know? That's
Yeah.
kind of the point of having a good teacher, is you're learning maybe what makes them better than other teachers. And like Hu Yang, I agree, by the way, with Frank, is amazing. Hu Yang,
Oh
like,
my god.
dude, the really cool training sabers, that was badass. And they showed the slices. I know that was, you go off, King. I'll let you speak to that, because that was everyone. Okay, so we all got in a real quick chat after this, and everyone said they thought of Jarod when they were doing the forms, just like, you know, and the I don't know, what were they saying? Do you remember?
I had the subtitles on. It looked like Star Wars gibberish. It might have been with regards to like the vectors of attack.
Okay.
Here. Speaking of people who were here for sweaty Star Wars shit.
Oh, the sweatiest, my sweet baby boy.
And
what's going on, everybody?
Yes. He's dripped out. It is a fully Roosevelt
pilled.
screen. It is
He's
all Roosevelt. We
I
are
pilled
and
another
we're
shirt.
sweaty.
I'm like, how funny would it be if I just showed up in a Roosevelt's here?
Dude, okay, do me a favor, Jarod. Take a screenshot real quick so you can put it on the group photo.
I will. Taylor, screenshot this on your phone, please.
Everyone smile. Everyone smile. Oh wait, I gotta have my Roosevelt's bag. Hold on. Doesn't show my address or anything.
Dare mighty things. Okay.
Cool. Perfect.
Hi, Michael Arnburst, friend of my mother's. Hello. In the chat. No, so poor Taylor. The episode starts and Sabine is in that little training area with the sparring with Huang with like the hollow swords, and he's just like listing again. I think it was like attack vectors, or something like that. And I just start like
that, yeah.
slamming on the couch, going nut. It was the first time Taylor has ever gotten indignant with me while I was being obnoxious while we watched Star Wars, where she was like, "Jarod, what is going on? What are you nutting about? I don't understand." And I'm just like, they're just doing lightsaber training, and I'm happy. Oh man!
By the way, I wanted to talk about the real MVP of today. Of course, the thing we're all here to talk about. No, we're not, but I just need to do this from a certain point of view. Return of the Jedi, which is getting completely overshadowed today, which is sad, but whatever.
Hey, so I know the lines. It's Key Ray, Guy Ray, Key Ray, and then it shows the really cool training sabers, and then it says Kisei, Key Ray, Guy Key.
I know it was Kiga. Guy or something like that. Yeah.
The next one's Kisei set.
Yeah.
Key Ray, Kisei, Guy Key. And then it's the next one. Kisei, Key Ray, Guy Key.
It reminds me of the one episode of TCW Bounty Hunters where friggin' Anakin is training the Felucian farmers, but he just says numbers. He goes like 1, 2, 3. Maybe this is a variation on that.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe.
So like I said, I think it is just like katas and like forms and stuff, but like it's using like the very formal Jedi language there. I just loved that. My brain was fucking buzzing. I was so it was just everybody has their specific like Star Wars hyperfixation, you know. So like seeing like it get very in the weeds with oh my god,
they're practicing lightsaber techniques.
Buck, I love
that. Look at the strip. Look at the drip.
Yeah.
Listen, if I don't get we don't get a sponsorship after this episode.
You need it.
I give up. Oh, is it every time somebody joins, Scotty flips the thracket?
Okay. Well, I'm glad it's the wrong for me.
What a phrase.
Buck, how are you feeling after this episode? Oh man, we got.
I love it. I loved it. Huang, the comedy.
Ahsoka in space, like her spacesuit being
Hello.
sort of an homage to like her Clone Wars spacesuit, but also nods to her
Yes.
Rebels outfit with like just I loved all those elements. Yeah, and then of course like them doing an original George homage to World War II starfighting, like
my God.
fighter, like
Yes.
dogfighting.
The
I was just like
of
the ships, the ball. Guys,
I was going to say the
was in
direct
Cloud Nine.
homage. This is what I think Dave can do so well, and I think great Star Wars creators can do so well. Is that I
It's
knew how
Steph Green.
that training scene was going to go. I know how that training scene was going to go. I knew the basic trope. I knew like when like Ahsoka handed her the helmet with the blast shield.
Yeah.
Like obviously it's going to be like, oh, I can't see. Yeah, that's the point.
Uh-huh.
I
She
loved
needs to
every
go on a
second
journey.
of it
It's
still.
the journey.
I
It's her
love
growth
every
and
second
journey,
of
and
it
I'm
still.
loving it.
I love when they hit those notes. They
Steph
can hit
Green
the same notes over and over again, and as long as
directing
they do it in
2
their
episodes.
own unique and fun way, you know.
Steph Green directing 2 episodes back to back, and
I didn't expect that.
Neither did I. And the fact that, and my husband pointed this out, so credit to my husband Brandon. He was like, we've never seen we're never really seen a master apprentice relationship between 2 women. Like, not really,
Nope.
never.
Ooh,
The closest thing
that's
we've ever
good.
seen is Luminara and Barriss. But we didn't really
And we
see
know
that.
how well
Not
that
really.
went.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we
Spoilers,
didn't really see
wait,
it. So
just
he
real
was
quick.
like, yes.
I'm going to exercise a bit of privilege here. Nobody get any more specific about Luminara and Barriss than that, because Taylor does not know much about how Clone Wars ends.
All right.
Oh.
And
Wait,
we've
something
somehow
happens?
managed to keep some of that under wraps, and I don't know how.
I felt bad. I was talking to somebody the other day who's reading Dark Disciple, and I completely was just like, "Oh yeah, da 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 da," and I'm like, "Oops, my bad."
Taylor, you're not wrong. You're
Okay.
not wrong.
I try.
I've
And see,
never
it's hard
seen
for
her
me.
turn heel on a Star Wars character faster than Luminara and Billy.
So
I was so entertained because it was during the second Battle of Geonosis arc. And whenever
Classic.
Taylor was basically like, it took Luminara 5 minutes to be like, Barriss is dead, oh well. And
I remember-
she was just like, how fucked up do you have to be for Anakin to be the rational one in a situation?
Yeah, I remember specifically with the second Battle of Geonos, we had some asshole named Alden Diaz on our show for that.
Hello, we have lots of guests here. We got what is this, beauty tips?
Yes.
Hello. Oh, what is that? Is that MF Doom next to you, back from the dead?
He is resurrected just to give us beauty tips.
Yes, all caps will
2023.
spell the man name. How are y'all
Yeah.
tonight?
Yeah, all caps. Again, like you said, you need to spell it in all fucking caps. We're doing pretty good tonight. My name's Granny. This is Why Do I Podcast. He's Jewish. I'm pointing the wrong way. And I wanted to peel this charcoal mask off for you. We do beauty tips. We're gay as fuck together. And hold on. It's not tacked up enough yet. Fuck.
Give it some time.
Yeah, well, did you guys watch Ahsoka tonight?
Not
yes.
really.
Oh,
Yeah.
shame.
No, we did a lot.
That's pretty bomb bad. I don't know what happened there. That was some good energy. They should
Death to all of them.
Oh,
they should watch
wow.
the bomb bad cast. That was
Great energy.
that
for
was-
Bombad.
That was.
I-
I did not mean to play that clip, by the way. My computer froze up while I was trying to click out of that window after kicking them.
It was just a
and-
good coincidence.
Yeah, that I
Okay,
know
okay.
sincerely. I mean that. I swear on Cookie Cop. I was like, come on. That is a
All right.
great clip. All right,
But
Jason, I'm
gents-
glad you're entertained.
That was-
I was dropping in real quick just to show off the drip.
That's
I gotta
right.
go. It's dinner time. Much love to all of you. I will see you all soon. All right.
I'm
all
glad-
right.
I'm glad you
Buck,
got to be a part of that.
Buck who's gay
Night.
as fuck. Bye, bud.
Bisexual as fuck. Bisexual. All right.
That was odd. That was.
That was like, honestly, I've experienced a lot of weird things on the stream.
You
I
know
think
what this
that might have
reminds
been
me
the
of,
weirdest.
Scotty? You know what this reminds me of? Wasn't it the fucking first trivia stream we did? That right after it, we ended.
Oh.
There was that weird like anti-vaxxer stream
Yes,
that we found
yes,
that we ended up getting
yes.
bombed by.
That was wild. I'm gonna put this in our group chat right now.
I remember. I remember there was that one time that Scotty, you went live on that other platform. What was that, on Bond Gaming or something like that?
Yes.
It was like it had like 10 viewers or something.
Of Vaughn Live, probably.
Vaughn Live, the goat.
I love how I have a text from Eli that says I think they might be trolling. Of course they were trolling. I knew what I was
said that
doing.
as they were talking. I'm like, is this a bit? Are they trying to? What are they doing?
So before Buck left and before whatever that just happened, I appreciate
Bring up
that.
Woodsy's
By the way,
comment. Bring up Woodsy's comment.
That was bold. That's amazing. I
Jared,
wanted
bring
to
up
say,
yeah.
there you
Scotty,
go. I can clip
Get this
it
right now.
That was so strange. I don't know if I want to give those guys air. That was kind of that was pretty. I mean, I guess
terrifying.
I guess that's what you get for doing a call-in show. You know.
Hey, you never
anyway.
know what's gonna happen.
Also,
okay. This is a reliable one.
Reliable. Look at Kaysen. What a handsome young man. I want to hear
Good
your death metal voice.
you.
Do your death metal voice
no,
right now.
I don't know if
Come
I
on,
can
please.
do that right
Come
now.
on, do it, fucker. Do it. Real quick. In your bunk bed. Do it.
In my bunk bed. I'm at my girlfriend's parents' house.
In your bunk bed. Do it. Do it real quick. It's really quiet. Come on. That was close.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, please.
No,
Are you
not
Morag?
it at all.
Are you Morag? As you wish. Do
Morag? I wish.
Do Morag. Okay.
I don't know if I could do that. Like people like grunty, like.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I feel like it sounds more of like the other like troopers or whatever with the fucking like the regulators and shit.
The death troopers.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. Okay. I had to ask Eli this. Eli, how did you feel to see Kazuno Ziano? I know that show came out when you were in 5th grade, but how did it feel whenever they had Kaz's dad on there and he was a total douchebag? How did you feel about that?
I mean, it was perfect. It was perfect.
So, is he a douchebag in Resistance? I don't remember. I haven't watched it since I was in.
He's less of a douchebag in Ahsoka.
Oh, really? Okay, I don't remember that at all.
Wow. He's one of those people that DJ mentions in TLJ. We found out that he's not a First Order supporter.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a Resistance supporter. It was like Hera asked him, "Were you just waiting to see who came out on top?" He took the same position 30 years later.
Yeah, it was the enlightened centrist bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah, all he wanted really cared about was that his son was safe, because he for all his faults, he did care about his son and his family. We don't know anything about his wife or husband or whoever he married and who's Kaz's other parent. But the other thing that's interesting is that, you know what planet he represents in the New Republic Senate?
I don't.
Hosnian Prime.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Cue the Curb Your Enthusiasm music.
By the way, the first time we hear from him is in season 2 of Resistance.
Exactly, I knew that.
Hosnian Prime blows up. So he got enough tip that he was able to just avoid the destruction of the planet he was representing in the Senate, and then still was like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait and see who wins.
This bitch.
Exactly, yeah.
This bitch. Anyway, I had to ask you because I know you love Resistance and you grew up with it.
I was fully expecting. I remember when we saw it in the description of one of the stills, I was like, oh, this is gonna be an appearance. He's gonna have a line at most.
Mm-hmm.
And then he banters back and forth with Hera Syndulla. I'm like, wow, they're going for this.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Cray Syndulla, Cray Breezy. Yes. How you feeling after this episode?
I'm feeling pretty good, to be completely honest with you. I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Also, I like the fact that Buck got it with Ahsoka's like spacesuit, paying homage to everything else. But I also like. Is it too early to do spoilers out of context on Twitter or no?
I would avoid doing spoilers out of context, or at the very least try to cover him up in some way. Like,
Yeah, maybe do like the
blur?
the blur. Yeah.
All right.
Tomorrow.
I'm just posting.
Tomorrow. Actually, well, it's going to be tomorrow sooner for you than. Never mind. I was going to say like tomorrow my time. I think is the safe spoilers out of context thing.
I mean, Kason, you can just post a picture of Vegeta.
Okay, that's
Just be
that's
like
what I was gonna
Ahsoka
do.
spoilers without context, and it just be Vegeta.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I remember when she went out of that ship, I'm like, what
I
is
know.
going on here?
Ahsoka
I
went
saw,
into
like,
space and she went Kakarot.
Kakarot.
Yeah,
Oh
That
my
was good.
goodness!
no, she hops out of the ship, and I saw like the hit plates, and like the first thing I thought was like Saiyan armor. What the fuck? And then I was like, oh wait a minute, and I like noticed the same thing Buck did, where it's like part of like her like Rebels outfit where she had like the waist plates and shit.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. No, I really did like
Yeah,
her
I thought that was
spacesuit.
very cool.
I
Yeah.
thought that was
Actually,
just, I
also,
thought that
I
was
like-
an interesting touch.
Like the single like sock thing covering the tendrils was a nice touch. I think. I thought that was kind of cool the way they had like it's
Mhm.
part of the helmet.
Okay, hold on. We okay. Let's make some magic happen. Taylor wants our Marok theories. Now,
Okay.
Ooh.
I had a tweet go like mini viral this week, making fun of everybody who's saying that Marok is Galen Merrick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you look like an asshole.
Isn't.
No, I'm not saying. Listen, I never said he wasn't Sam Witwer, and I've said publicly I hope he's played by Sam Witwer because I want Sam to get
Not
to
under
do
the
some
helmet,
cool
he's
shit.
not. If you go to the credits, he's has an actor now.
Yeah, but it's still it still could be voiced by Sam Witwer.
It still could
It's
be.
by
Yeah, sure.
Paul Darnell is the name of the actor.
Yeah, I
and
knew
he
his
was
first
he
name was
was-
Paul. I looked
but hold on.
specifically
That sounds like a third string
Listen,
SNL cast member.
he was everyone's stunt double. He was literally the stunt double for Edward in Twilight. He was stunt double for Matrix, whatever the he was Jurassic World stunt double, Matrix Resurrection stunt double. He was Baby Driver stunt double. He was the Tenet stunt double for oh boy. He was in the Book of Boba Fett as a stunt double. He was in the Army of Dead. He was in Zack Snyder's Justice League as a stunt double. I'm telling you. He was in The Mandalorian for 9 episodes as a stunt double. I'm telling you, it's going to be fucking Sam Witwer. Guaranteed. I just can guarantee it.
I think either either it's going to be a big reveal. I think it's like I wouldn't say 50-50 because I think the big reveal is slightly more likely actually now that you bring that up. But there's also the possibility that Dave was just like, we just need somebody who can do like Merrick doesn't speak a lot. And it doesn't look like that's going to change anytime soon. And again, I don't know, but there is a universe where I can imagine Dave being like, "Can we just get somebody who's good at the stunts, and that's it?"
Maybe.
That's fair.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like
Perhaps.
that's basically
'Cause,
what they're
like-
doing with Din, except for we saw his face a few times, but
Yeah.
we
Well, I
don't
think
know how
that's
much
mostly due
Pedro
to
Pascal
scheduling
on set.
conflicts because like Pedro Pascal blew up immediately after the Mandalorian started. Well, like I mean, he was big before then, but like he
Yeah,
jumped.
He was
got-
in
I
like
feel like a
38
lot.
fucking projects at once while Mando season
Yeah,
3
he was doing
happening.
Last of Us. he was doing-
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it's on the
Uh,
Sam Witwer thing. Like, I feel like if they want to put him in live action, I don't know where else they would go with that. Like, so aside from this, I mean, like, if you think about it, because like are they gonna do more stuff between like the Resistance saga and this, or is it gonna be like we're just gonna kind of fill in the gaps here, and then we're gonna do more stuff post that?
I really hope that, honestly, if I had my way, the period between episodes 6 and 7 would be as saturated as the period between episodes 3 and 4 right now.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Eli. I'm inclined to agree with you on that.
And
Yeah,
especially because it's
100%.
a decade longer. If you think about it, it's a decade longer. Because it's 19 years between Sith and Hope, and it's 30 years between Jedi and Force Awakens. So
Woodsy, that is a great fucking joke.
that is
Marok
a layered
is
joke.
Chris Pratt as Dasan.
As Dasan.
Also,
So what species is that guy?
a fucking lizard.
Chistori.
A
Heyo.
Hey.
It's me.
Ooh, fuck it
Hi.
up, Kenneth.
I'm the Dark Jedi. Okay.
By the way,
Got a crowd
Taylor,
pop that I could hear from the living room.
as for your questions about Merrick and Shin, again, I'm gonna say if I had my way and what I'm hoping it to be, but again, if they reveal it to be other stuff, I'm fine with that too. They're original characters. Both of them.
I mean, I want Merrick to be an original character as well, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Shin's whole deal is. I love that crazy fucking look she has in her eye during the dog fights. She looks fucking nuts,
I do. I agree. Yeah.
and I love
Ivana
it.
Yeah.
Sakno is killing it.
Like she kind
I
of
mean,
looks
everybody's
bloodthirsty,
killing
and
it,
it's
but
pretty
yeah.
good.
She's pretty sexy. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, hey, and we were talking about it last week on our review episode of KNR. I think it's interesting that she does not linger to confirm the kill on Sabine, and and I was rewatching the first two episodes. She only I didn't realize this the first time. She only kills half of that security detail in the hangar. They say it. Like there's a line of dialogue.
Oh,
You know?
okay. I didn't realize
So
that.
Shin isn't this berserker bloodthirsty, I'm gonna kill everybody in the room because I get off on it kind of fucking villain. But also there's nothing behind those eyes when she was flying that starfighter.
Nope.
Yeah, dude. Like she's not actually that wild, but she seems intense.
I will still go, and here's I know
Taylor's also into it.
Yeah,
very
I
much.
just want theories. Here's my and I was sharing this with a bunch of our friends recently. Here's my crazy crack theory, that I was talking about to some people. That Balin's skull is the former apprentice of Rael Avaros, from Master and Apprentice, and from Dooku Jedi Lost, I think is the other book.
Does Rail have a Padawan after what's her name?
Rail doesn't have a Padawan in canon right now, as of.
Well, he has the one.
Couldn't he? Okay, this is so ridiculous, and excuse my ignorance because I haven't read Heir to the Empire in so
Never
long.
mind. He did. He had Nim Piana. Never mind.
Yeah, the one that he had to kill. Yeah.
Couldn't Balin's skull essentially be freaking oh god,
Joris Sabayoth.
Yeah.
I think I would be into him being a reskin Joris.
Yeah,
I would be into it,
I would
a
too.
retooling,
because we've
of
only
that character.
seen us if he did some Force Lightning shit next episode, I'd be like, that's pretty coded, because Joris Sabayoth, if I'm not mistaken, did have the ability to do Force Lightning as well.
On the
He's
cover
on
of
the
one of the
cover of
books.
Heir to
He's
the Empire,
duh. Okay, sorry. I'm eager to see how that happens, and I don't know, because we don't know his origins.
Give him Sabayoth's story. Just make him now the second apprentice of Rael Avaros, who, for those of you who don't know, was the second apprentice of Dooku, which means that
he and Ahsoka are in the
Balin,
same lineage.
Yeah, they're by Jedi mastery related.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So
I think they're equal.
Balin
Wouldn't they also be at equal distance from Dooku?
No, it wouldn't, because Balin would be where Obi-Wan is actually.
Yeah.
Which is actually interesting another way, because imagine Ahsoka fighting a perversion of imagine that Balin, and from what I've seen, this seems likely. Balin is a dark, twisted, slightly different, of course, version of Obi-Wan.
I think it's interesting you say that, because last week on KNR, I was talking about Balin being a perversion of Qui-Gon. Or a dark side version of Qui-Gon. Yeah, and you said Obi-Wan. That's right, Cray. Yeah.
So either way, imagine him being a dark, twisted perversion of everything that Ahsoka learned under. And Ahsoka this time is saying, she says to Huyang, she's very indicated, and that's something that's something I loved about this episode specifically, where she's saying to Huyang, Huyang saying the Jedi would never have accepted Sabine, or her force sensitivity way too low. And then Ahsoka's like, the Jedi fell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I love the way she said it, because it's intimating the whole and I'm loving that they're going into this. Yeah, maybe the Jedi weren't so great after all. But if Ahsoka's perception of the Jedi is at rock bottom, but she still has those good experiences from her own memory of a Jedi from Obi-Wan and Anakin, what happens when even the greatest stuff starts to come back at her in the form of Balin?
So
that's interesting. Scott, are you about to pivot to what you sent me in the DMs? Because I'm about to.
I was gonna say one thing. This is something for everyone that's a super nerd in here. Did they ever confirm? Because this is when I see Shin, I always think of Kamari Vosa. Is Kamari Vosa confirmed canon? Like didn't they confirm in the lightsaber?
Not canon.
I thought in the lightsabers book they did. I thought they made a subtle reference to Kamari Vosa when they showed Asajj Ventress's lightsabers. Am I wrong on that?
I looked at it. I'm looking at it right now.
Only because
technically her lightsabers are canon-ish, but it's from a Star Wars encyclopedia.
I thought it was from the lightsaber book, though. I swear. Hold on. Sorry, I just had to ask because I had some super nerds on here. Hold on.
And also, her name is not yet confirmed to be Kamari Vosa. So maybe, possibly.
Okay, that's what I thought. Anyway, sorry. Shin has some to me has some pretty Kamari Vosa vibes, kind of like like just the look. I don't know. Anyway,
I was gonna say except for personality because Kamari is straight up berserker.
Yes. Anyway, let's pivot. Insane. Let's pivot to something I'm so excited about and that the internet thankfully got wrong.
You want me to throw it up?
Oh, throw it up. I'm pumped.
Are we talking about? Yeah.
Look at this little boy. Look at this
you
little
can
boy.
see it. You can see the color.
God.
You can see the color in the hair. I love it.
The green hair. And if you look here, I'm hovering my cursor over it like anybody can see it. He's got a little bit of. You can kind of see that his ears go to a point.
He's a little green, little point. I love it.
God damn. I love seeing Jason Syndulla. I love seeing Jason Syndulla. The moment I was talking about it with some friends earlier, the moment of like, oh, I want to be a Jedi like Aunt Sabine. I'm like, wait till you figure out who your dad was, my man.
I know, right? And I wonder if they're gonna. They may save that for a whole other show. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think it's the last time we'll see.
I don't
our boy Jason, but I don't know how much action Jason will have in this overall series. But I'm gonna leave it about 5 minutes. And I just want to say I love that. I love that the Lego pieces. Alden Diaz, a good friend of this show, and a lot of our friends here. He straight up was like he's gonna have green hair in some capacity, and I agreed with him too. They weren't gonna just completely retcon that. Lego has a infamous track record of like them not doing something because it's too inconvenient to do. So that's what I'll say.
Well, keeping in line with that scene, I do want to talk about I went on the record with the third episode of Mando this season, The Convert, of having a lot of mixed opinions about how the are you flipping the Thracket or are you losing the Thracket?
Of course,
you're flipping the Thracket. I had a lot of mixed opinions about how the New Republic was depicted, and my main issue was the whole and I still have a lot of issues with the depiction of the amnesty program. I still think it is batshit insane that a program designed to de-radicalize fascists kept referring to these people by like a number and not a name and dehumanizing them as much as possible. I think it didn't. I know it's the point, but I don't like it. I am enjoying, however, this element here where they're very much leaning into the idea of like the New Republic was resting on its laurels. It was more concerned with maintaining a peace than actually looking at how fucked up the situation was. It was that terror of like, oh, if I just pretend it isn't there, it'll go away, right? And obviously it won't go away. I've used this example 1,000 times, and I'm going to use it for the rest of my life. The day they called the election for Biden in 2020, I kept seeing jokes about people I kept seeing jokes about people. Oh, we're all dancing and singing like it's the end of Return of the Jedi, drumming on stormtrooper helmets. And every time I saw somebody say something like that, I was like, you know what? You're right. It does
You're
feel
right.
like the end of Return of the Jedi. And I hate to break it
The
to
war
you.
ended right there, right?
You should if you are happy right now, don't watch the movie that comes after that.
Yep.
Because they're all gonna come back. They're all gonna
for
come back, and
another
it's gonna be
year.
so much worse next time. It's gonna be so much fucking worse next time.
Somehow they're gonna return.
Somehow Donald John Trump returned.
Yeah. I
Dark
get out of here, boys.
science, cloning,
All right, later, Craig.
even secret
Bye.
identity
I'm gonna go
Later.
too. Bye bye. Stay bomb bag.
Bye bye.
See you later. Jared lost to me in trivia.
No, there it is. There it is. He said he
I was
wasn't
wondering when that
gonna
was
do
going to come up.
it.
See you, kiss.
Stay T-Nap.
Stay, yeah.
Stay
Fucking,
I guess.
I don't have anything to poke him in the head to make him talk. But yeah, no, seeing the like very like the turn up your nose at the very idea that like, hey, the space Nazis like aren't done yet. Can we please do something about this? You know, I am buying the New Republic laziness narrative more. I am still not sold on the amnesty program being that shitty, but I'm warming up to a lot of the themes at play here.
I will say that I'm actually very excited. I'm warming up to the New Republic stuff. Well, I actually love the convert, but I love the fact because they could have totally played it this way, but I love the fact that Mon didn't automatically dismiss it along with the other senators. Because
I
Mon
agree.
dismissing it along with the other senators would have been understandable and I would have gone along with it. But her knowing, especially off the heels of Andor, or her knowing how dangerous a resurgent empire would
Yes, like yeah, I think that was really nice. Like
be. Goddamn,
having Genevieve be
does it
this
again.
connective tissue. Also, Matt, I want to congratulate you on I think being the first person to ever call me a hussy. I've been called many things, and that's new. Why does Kara's kid look like that? I thought he looked better in Rebels. You're absolutely right, honey.
Yes, she'll tray that.
Yeah. I'm just flipping through. Text on planning. No, actually, it's funny you mentioned that, Woodsy. His arms, he got it today, and he was like on the fence because his arms looked weird in it. But he thinks he's just gonna hem it. But yes, the tags are still on it. But he's gonna send me the sticker because he's a good friend. Eli, you missed out. The Thracket came with a 7th Fleet sticker.
Oh,
yeah.
Sticker. Wow.
It was plain bad. I don't know about that. It was kind of goofy. I will give you that.
I'll just say again what I said when talking about with some of our friends earlier. For Sabine, that was an incredible feat. For Ahsoka, it was Tongs Day.
Facts. Big facts. Noted.
Ahsoka does that maybe 5 or 6 times in the Clone Wars.
What's wrong with Hera's eyes? Taylor and I, this is our only issue with live action Hera, is that her eyes are piercing. Through the heart. She looks rough in a hologram. That's what I will say. And it is only the eyes. Her eyes are a lot whenever she's like in the room, but hologram Hera, those eyes are scary. But yeah, no, this is a wonderful episode. I really do love like all of the Force stuff with Sabine. You know, I can just like Eli, you alluded to it earlier with like I've seen this scene before, but like it's all in the execution. And like I know that the show is building to Sabine using the Force. Like that shot in the trailer.
Yeah.
That shot in the trailer of her reaching out for her lightsaber fighting Shin, I think that lightsaber is gonna into her hands.
We're gonna get like a Rey moment, a Luke.
Yeah,
moment.
I think she's gonna have a Rey moment, and I think it's gonna be fucking awesome. And you know, like I said, I do really enjoy. Here's something I like. And normally we get the you're learning to use the Force narrative, and it's typically from the perspective of a prodigy.
Yeah, that was actually just what I was about to bring up.
Yeah, like normally it is from the perspective of a Luke or an Anakin, or go throw back to KOTOR with Revan. That like it's always, huh?
I said, although with Revan, there's the caveat of like, yeah.
Yeah, but still, like
Yeah, no, I
you're
get it.
still
I get
dealing
it.
with someone who is a prodigy, and I think it's really interesting that we're starting with somebody who, like, again, does not pass the litmus test for the most part, and I think it's a very funny. Sorry, I got distracted by a notification on my phone. I think it's a very funny inversion here, and I think so far a lot of Ahsoka has been inversions of like tried and true Star Wars tropes. That like I said last week, like the beginning felt like this perverted version of the beginning of the Phantom Menace, and Balin feels like this inversion of Qui-Gon to me. That like, oh well, we're gonna get our Luke / Ray / whomever story here, but it's not going to be some prodigal Force user.
And it's not, and the main character isn't Luke or Ray or whoever it is. It's Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
it's Obi-Wan.
Teacher. Ah, man, I'm loving this.
It's so fantastic. I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, about the whole like Sabine not being a prodigy at the Force is something I really love. Just because specifically, I remember like we see in Star Wars most of the time the best of the best, the best of the best of the Jedi, the best of the best of the Sith, the best of the best of all the other Force users in between. And I remember because now as we get into like more extended canon thing, we obviously can't just keep inventing powerful Force users, so we have to go to a bit more of like the bottom of the barrel, so to speak.
Yeah.
And for Sabine pulling that lightsaber, which she could do the cup, like that's going to be a real major achievement. That could be the zenith of her Force. Of her power.
See, I'm interested in it not being, though. I'm interested to see her continue to flex those muscles and grow in power. And
I'm not saying that that's the most we'll see. It's just like that is as crazy
her current peak.
Yeah, and her current peak, and also like that is as crazy for her. Like think of like crazy Force feats like the Luke projection.
Yeah.
The Last Jedi. Disregarding the whole he died afterward thing, which I know is a big part of it. No. Anyway, no. Wish I had the Connor sound now. But like if pulling an object like was as big of a feat as like the projection or fading into the Force to become a ghost, or like Yoda sequence, like I'm thinking of Yoda's sequence in the animated Clone Wars, the 2D animated Clone Wars, where he just like outstretched his hand at like 70 million droids.
Oh yeah, when he fucking like thunderclap two transports together.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, or when Mace Windu punches battle droids. Which is a sentence that actually happened in the Star Wars. Like imagine if like stuff that would be considered child's play to somebody like Luke or Rey or Obi-Wan or Anakin was like a real accomplishment for Sabine. Like I remember specifically thinking, I'm like, this is another weird tangent, but I remember specifically thinking when we were getting Fallen Order, I'm like, oh, like don't get me wrong, Cal's gonna be powerful. But like he's not like I think we're starting to get to like less powerful Force users. And then Survivor comes out. I'm like, nope, I was wrong about that one.
Yeah, he's a fucking powerhouse now. Yeah, no, absolutely. This is a great episode. I think this is a great little conversation here. I think we're gonna bring this one home because I have to be up early for work and I work all day. So I think we're gonna call it here. Eli, thanks for coming by. Thank you, Buck. Thank you, Scotty. Thank you, Casing. Thank you, Ray Clausen. Thank you to those guys who were gay as fuck.
I was about to mention those. I was wondering if you were gonna,
Yeah,
That
they get a thank you too. But
that
anyway,
was weird.
everybody, tune back in Friday morning where you get the episode of Knights of the Nerd Republic for a more well-rounded, less reactiony discussion about the episode. That'll be with Michael McCoy of All Remaining Systems and our dear friend Regan from Star Wars Twitter. So yeah, see you all then. Thank you all so very much for joining. We're honored that you have joined us, and may the Force be with you always.
Stop! Move away from the cookie jar!
Going into space, mathematics, quantum mechanics, the secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty, its incredible detail. Tuning into it, they want to shatter your mind talking about Justin Bieber. It's pure